Hello and welcome. It's LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense, and today I am excited to share Momentum, the 12-week master plan that I've put together for you to help you strategically work on your profit, your productivity, and your progress. So, jumping into our agenda for today, we're going to talk about the prep step of the process of working on your goals, specifically your online business goals, over a 12-week period. And this is something that we're going to be talking about and checking in with quite a bit as part of this Ascent Circle. I wanted to kick things off with our prep step conversation for today. And of course, as we go through this, whether you're catching it live or listening to the replay, definitely feel free to check in with me. You can always unmute yourself or drop something into the chat. Email SusanSense@gmail.com. Post in our Facebook group over at firestarters.susansense.com. Or when you're on the SusanSense.com website, you can click the gray tab on the right to send me a voice message. So whether you chat with me live or send an email, voice message, or post in the Facebook group on the replay side, I want to make sure that there are ample opportunities for you to get clarity and support as needed. So when it comes to this Momentum series, there are a couple of things that really motivated me to share this with you. Number one is last year, I would say, I think around the end of the year, I actually got into the 12-week year book by Brian Moran. And I purchased this a year ago, and it's something that definitely is a buzz conversation at the start of the year for a lot of entrepreneurs and ambitious people looking to work on both their personal and professional goals. This year, no exception to that. I always like to kick off the year with my Fire Start Your Year workshop here in North Carolina, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. Definitely check in if you want to join us for that, number one. And then number two, in addition to the Fire Start Your Year conversation, maintaining your momentum is definitely something that I always love to talk about as well, because we don't want the fire to fizzle. We all know the running gag when it comes to creating New Year resolutions, and just a few days or a few weeks later, that fire fizzles. What can you do to ensure that you're staying on top of your goals, you're staying on top of your vision? That's what this conversation is about. If you're not familiar with the 12-week year, essentially the idea that Brian shares is, let me break down how you can do more in 12 weeks than some people do in 12 months. By not thinking about your goals over 365 days, but really thinking about how you can take a set of very specific goals and work on them over a 12-week period. So the idea of the 12-week year is that you're breaking your bigger goals down into quarter experiences, and then each of those 12 weeks is getting you closer to the overall goal, the big goals that you're trying to accomplish. So as part of our prep step conversation for today, we're going to do a couple of things. Number one, we're going to talk about those big one-year goals that you have for yourself. Visualization matters, number one. We're going to identify some of the things that you want to accomplish in a 12-week period to get you started. We're going to tap into what I like to call the R factor, and also wrap things up with your 30-day calendar. So these are some of the things that we're going to do today, okay? And to help you with this, I've put together the Momentum 12-week workbook. There are two versions. What you're going to get today, absolutely free from yours truly, is the prep step to be able to go through the things that I share with you today, okay? So if you're ready to download your Momentum Prep Step Guide just go over to sistersense.com/masterplan. And there you'll be able to download the prep step guide, number one. And number two, if you want to get the full printable momentum guide, you'll see that there's a resource there for you to be able to unlock that. With that guide, I have a 12-week challenge to make sure that every week I am checking in and motivating you to consistently work on your 12-week agenda. And then those of you who are inside of the Citizen Circle program, we also will be doing the 12-week challenge as part of our monthly masterminds for the next several months. So just challenging you to work on your momentum and really and truly from start to finish, knock out some things that you're trying to accomplish going into the new year. That is my objective. That's my vision for you, okay? So let me know if you were able to go over to sistasense.com, sistasense.com/masterplan so that you can download your guide for today. Just drop a "got it" into the chat if you're able to do that, number one. Hey, Afi. Hi, Regina. Hey, Rhonda. I see you guys are coming on into the virtual building. Welcome, welcome. And as you guys are checking in with me, what I'm going to do is start to jump into our prep step actual session for today. Okay? So let's do it. The first thing that I want you to be able to do, as a matter of fact, before I jump into this, let me just do a quick power pause just to give you an opportunity to get your PDF, and then we'll come into here. Where can I go so that I can show you what that looks like? If you go to sistasense.com/masterplan, right, when you're here, you'll be able to listen to and learn more about the Momentum series, and then you can download your prep step guide, okay? That's what you see here, and that's what we're going to be going through today. I have a whole series called Maintain Your Momentum. This year we did the reset, the mid-year reset, which is a workbook branded similar to this one, but different content. And so I'm excited to work on sharing at least one momentum workbook with you all throughout the quarters, throughout the year, until I have one momentum workbook for every month as part of my series. But here is your workbook, your prep step workbook. Let me know if you were able to grab that. Just drop into the chat. And then we're going to dig into it, okay? As you guys are doing that, let me go back over to the slides, visualization. Okay, so I always talk about one of my favorite quotes, do something today that your future self will thank you for. And this is where our conversation starts. Literally, we are today at the last day of the year, right? I want you to visualize the last day of next year. I want you to visualize you and who do you want to be? What do you want to accomplish at that point? Now, your workbook, it's two things. Number one, it's printable. You can easily, print it at home or go to your local Staples or Office Depot, number one. Or number two, you can upload it straight into a platform like GoodNotes, for example, and then edit it digitally on the screen, on your tablet, or on your laptop if that's easier for you, okay? Now, what we're going to do is right now we're going to go through the prep step, and you can do this either in a notebook or you can create a Google document. But ultimately, I want you to be able to have your momentum, either the full workbook, which is 100 pages, or the prep step book, which is 12 pages, so that you can get started with the process, okay? So thinking about what you want to accomplish and who you want to be by the end of next year is so important, because I always think about the fact that, and actually shared this morning as part of the Sunday Circle, nothing changes if nothing changes. If you keep saying, yeah, I'm gonna, but you don't actually do the things you said you were going to do, nothing is going to change for you. And a lot of times as adults, we go, oh, I have to find the time and find the time. And you're never going to find the time because there's always something else that's going to take priority or take precedence. So as opposed to constantly lying to yourself, oh, I'm going to find the time to fill in the blank, you've got to make the time. The first part of that is visualizing the future self that you want to be. And as part of that, what I want you to be able to do is to think about at least one big overarching goal that you have for yourself at the end of next year, and some smaller end-of-year goals that you can say, this is really a part of the bigger vision, right? These are some things that I'm looking to accomplish, and in order to be able to do those things, I need to 1, 2, 3, right? Smaller goals that apply to that bigger vision, okay? So I want you to be able to think about that, number one. And as you're doing that, can you say the link again? Sure. It is sistersense.com/masterplan, MASTERPLAN. Did you guys grab it? Are you able to download the guide? Let me know. In order to work on this concept, I'm going to share a few things. Number one, I'm going to share some of my own personal big vision goals, right? And number two, examples of some things that maybe might be goals for you, okay? Now, when it comes to the 12-week year, it's about both professional and personal goals. So maybe in your business, you're looking to reach more people, make more money. Maybe you're looking to save. Maybe you're looking to get out of debt. Maybe you're looking to move. Maybe you're looking to start a new season in your life. Maybe you're looking to lose weight. Maybe you're looking to transition in some way your look, right? One of my big goals this year in particular was, and this is a goal that's been on my to-do list for many years. By the way, this was a personal, so I'm going to share one personal, one professional. When I was in my 20s, I got laser hair removal on my sideburns, the mustache, all the things. I'm on the hairier side. Some of us are, right? And it worked really well for me. Then I had my son. I got pregnant. And as you know, your hair grows and everything else, the hormones go all over the place. So when I got my son, what I had invested in kind of did a complete reverse, number one. And then the laser company that I was using was in Midtown Manhattan. I moved to North Carolina, so that was a wash. And literally, the many years that I was here, we didn't actually have a local laser company here where I live in North Carolina. There were in other places, but not local to me. Until, I want to say maybe about 2 to 3 years ago, Milan Laser, they came to my location, and I was over the moon excited about it, but I didn't take advantage of it. Last year, at the end of the year, when I was on my way to go visit my family in Florida, I saw Milan was having an end-of-year promotion, and I said, this is it. My hair is out of control. I've got bumps all over the place. I need to get back on track with these sideburns and this mustache and all the things. And I went in there. They were like, oh, my gosh, we're like beyond booked. I said, if anything opens up before the January, because I'm about to go to Florida, I'm not going to be back until the new year, I need to get in here now. I got my first, luckily that same day somebody canceled, and I was able to get in, make my payment, and start my laser. And I've been doing that every month for the entirety of the year, which has really improved all the pigmentation and all the things that I was looking to do as part of my personal goal, right? And there are some things that maybe you want to do. Maybe you want to lose weight. Maybe you want to, that was my personal self-care goal for this year. The year before last, my personal self-care goal was to get back on track with my dental. And I did like maybe 3 or 4 surgeries. Like, I was not a happy camper last year. The year before that, my goal was to get back on track with my diabetes. Those are just some personal health goals that I've been pointing out for myself each and every year, right? What are some things that you go personal or professional? I really want to work on that. And by the end of this year, this is who I want to be. This is what I want to see, right? One of the things that I have been really excited about this year is talking to you all about extending your reach by tapping into different marketplaces like eBay or Amazon or Etsy, right? And being able to add new content to marketplaces that allow you to reach more people. That's both a personal, professional goal, but also a recommendation and an encouragement that I've been sharing with those of you in the Susan Circle community, right? And so one of the things that I want you to see, I just saw somebody said got it, which is great, is when you download the Prep Step Guide. Remember, this is 12 pages of the 100-page workbook. When you download it, one of the first things that you'll see here is your 1-year goal space. And this is going to create a space for you to think about like at least one big goal that you have, but also start to itemize some other things that you would like to do within the next 12 months. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And so in order for you to be able to get to where you want to be, you have to see it. You have to see it. You got to think it, write it, and actually put it out into the world, right? Now, the next thing that I have here, in addition to your big goals, right, the next part of the process, again, my Momentum Master Plan is inspired by the 12-week year, right, from Brian Moran. Do you guys have that book, by the way? Like I said, I purchased it last year. Let me know if you've got it. It should be in my Amazon store over at susansense.com/top tools. But a part of it is once you've identified those bigger goals for yourself, you start to break it down into your quarterly goals, your 12-week plan, right? And so what are some things that you go, in order to get to this bigger win, here are some things that I need to do here, now, etc., right, to move forward. So let me give you an example of that goal, right? One year I said, listen, I need to, this was last year, I said, I need to get on top of my TikTok game, right? I had like barely a couple hundred followers. I was like, I need at least 1,000 followers. And that was my objective, right? So what are you going to do to get 1,000 followers? Okay, well, first, I'm going to create my first 100 videos, right? So the overall goal was I want to create more video content to connect with my existing audience as well as to reach other people, right? Specifically on the TikTok platform. In order to do that, my bigger goal, the smaller goal was let me get to 1,000 subscribers. And how am I going to get to 1,000 subscribers? Let me start off with creating my first 100 videos, right? Challenging myself to do that and then working on other projects along the way, okay? So let me pause for a second. Those of you who are here and hanging out with me, I want you to think about, hey, Juliet, hi, Faye, welcome, welcome. I want you to think about 2 things, okay? If you visualize yourself, literally we're at the last day of this year. I need you to pause for a second and see yourself a year from now. Who is that person? What has she accomplished, right? And when you're looking at that big goal, can you break it down into smaller parts? Okay? What are some things that you would like to accomplish within the next 12 months? Now, it could be things that either you started this year but you didn't quite finish, so you want to roll over into the new year, right? Those of you who maybe you want to continue something or get back on track with something, or maybe it's something that is just completely different and new for you, okay? I want you to think about that space, number one. And those of you who are just coming on into the virtual building, friendly reminder, I need you to go over to sistersense.com/masterplan. You'll get to know two things here. Number one, you can download your free prep step guide. It's 12 pages. If you want the full momentum workbook, the 12-week challenge, and all the other resources I'm going to be sharing to support you as far as your 12-week goals, then that is in the full momentum 12-week plan, okay, the full master plan. You can either get the full plan or you can get the free prep step guide to get you started. Either one, that is on sistersense.com/masterplan. Okay, that's what we're working through today. Now, once you print this out, you don't have to print it out. Remember, you can go to the Good Notes website, create a Good Notes account for free, upload this PDF to Good Notes, and you can write in this virtually, right, on your laptop or your computer or your tablet. You don't have to print it out if you don't want to. Either this one, the 12-page prep step guide, or the 100-page Momentum Master Plan workbook, okay? The next thing that you're going to see here is this vision page, which I absolutely love. This is a space for you to take a look at a high level some of the things that you want to do over the course of the next 12 weeks to help you move forward. You can, again, and what you'll see here, it says don't self-censor, right? Don't doubt your vision. Just write freely. Write freely. Now, you can do this in a notebook or a Google Doc and then put it in here if you want to have a space that you can come back to. But this is something that I want you to be able to do, right? Now, I said to you, I want to give you some personal examples of things that I have done and that I plan to do going into the new year when it comes to my personal, but in this case, professional goals as a digital entrepreneur, right? One of the things that I've been talking to you guys about quite a bit this year is the marketplace, right? And being able to put your digital products on marketplaces like eBay and Amazon and Etsy and Poshmark. There's just so many marketplaces out there that may be niche specific to your industry that just make sense for you so that you can reach more people through the thousands, if not millions of people who frequent those marketplaces, right? So maybe you say, my goal is I want to put my products on Amazon, or I want to add more products to Amazon. And to get started, I'm going to put out that I'm going to give myself the goal of adding 3 products to Amazon within the next 12 weeks to get me started, right? That's taking the bigger goal and then breaking it down into something smaller. As a matter of fact, this year, I've watched so many videos on the Amazon Marketplace and KDP and all the things. One video in particular stood out of this entrepreneurial guy who pretty much, I think he did close to 1,000 uploads, which is crazy. Hundreds of pieces of content. That was his vision to upload onto Amazon. He was doing what I call test until you find your best. And he was like, am I telling you to do this? No. Did all of them work out very well? No. But because I did it so much, I was able to find those diamonds that just a few of these helped me generate consistent 4 and 5 figures. And that's the key. right? So in this example of, for example, reaching people through the Amazon marketplace, saying over the next 12 weeks, I want to upload this amount. And if I do that every 12 weeks, then I may hit my bigger goal. Let's say if by the end of next year, you visualize yourself being someone who has 100 products on Amazon. You break that up, that's 25 every quarter. Then that means that in 12 weeks, every week, you should be working on putting, I would say, for easy math, I would say anywhere between like 3 to 6 a week uploading, right? Now, for somebody who's doing, and how do you upload so much content to something like Amazon? In that case, this particular individual that I'm talking about that I was watching on YouTube, he was uploading low content books. So we're thinking about things that like notebooks, planners, things that have minimal content in the inside and mainly the outside, the graphics and things that you can upload relatively easily. So for example, quite a few of you participated in my Printer Profits training, and we did knockout notebooks and journals, and using my templates, you guys were able to create some beautiful things in a few days, right? Adonia, I don't think she's in the building right now, but Adonia mailed me for Christmas her notebook. She was like, LaShonda, I absolutely love it. I cannot stop looking at it. And I definitely want to do a quick video so I can show you guys what it looks like. But that's the kind of thing that he was doing. So if you're like, how the hell did somebody upload like 1,000 books on KDP over the course of a year? A lot of that is low content books or a combination of low and medium. Okay, just letting you know. Now, again, I want you to think about your 1-year goal vision, number one, and as you're preparing your vision board, give yourself a high-level view of some of the things that you want to do within the next 12 weeks to get started. Okay? Now, one of the things that, let's go back to our slides for a second here. One of the things that I've done that makes Momentum Masterplan different from the 12-week year by Brian Moran is that I've tailored my 12-week plan towards entrepreneurs. Now, there's something that I've been talking about for years when it comes to maintaining your momentum, and it is the R factor, okay? The R factor, which you can see here on the screen. Now, the 12-week year, it's just about goal setting in general, the things that you want to accomplish in your life and strategically doing that over a 12-week period. What I've done is created a space where we could talk about those goals that you want to accomplish as an entrepreneur using my R's: revenue, reach, ruts, and routines. So let's talk about that. Revenue. This is when I step on toes and I hurt feelings. I tell people all the time, if you ain't selling, it's because you ain't selling. You've got to set a clear revenue goal for yourself. You should have, or you should be crunching your numbers to the point where you know every day, every week, every month, every quarter, this is what I want to bring in. So setting clear revenue goals for yourself that you work on over the 12 weeks, that is one goal, period. So with my concept, I have very specific goals that I want us to work on: revenue, reach, ruts, and routines. So do you have, or can you think about, a revenue goal that you want to set for yourself over the next 12 weeks? Let's say for yourself, you go, you know what, LaShonda, it would be really great if over the course of this year, by the end of the year, I can say that I've brought in $80,000 into my business. $80,000. Now, if that's like a big end of year goal, and we go, okay, that means that every quarter you would need to bring in $20,000 for the quarter, right? That would mean that if that's your $20,000 goal for the course of 12 weeks, that means that every 4 weeks you've got to bring in what? 5,000, if I'm not mistaken. No, my math is slightly off. I want to say if you brought in 6, it'll get you to 18. I would say a little less than $7,000 every 4 weeks, because $7,000 every 4 weeks for 12 weeks, that's going to give you about 21,000, right? So that's you taking that bigger goal and then breaking it down into something more realistic. For some of you, that might be ideal. For some of you, that might be a little bit intimidating. You might go, okay, well, LaShonda, I would like to work on getting to the point where I'm bringing in $3,000 a month in sales from my business, okay? $3,000 a month, that would be your 4-week goal, which means that over the course of 12 weeks, you're working towards $9,000, right? And then what are you going to do as far as your revenue to get to that goal of $9,000 in 12 weeks? So one of the 12-week objectives that I want you to think about as an entrepreneur is your revenue goal. Has everyone thought about that so far, or is this now the opportunity for you to do that, right? Have you thought about going into the new year for the next 12 weeks, what do you want to make? Your revenue goals, your sales goals. That's number one. Number 2 is your reach. Nothing changes if nothing changes. You want to reach people. Who, how many, where, right? So, for example, I just shared that not this year, but last year, I gave myself the goal of getting to 1,000 TikTok followers, right? And then giving myself a list of activities that I would do to hit that goal. Are you trying to reach people via a podcast? I know Cynthia and I, we talked about last week that she wants to launch her podcast in March, so that she's working on publishing and recording and getting everything together to be able to launch at that time period, right? So that is going to be her 12-week goal is these 12 weeks, what do I need to do? Who do I need to work with? What are the steps I need to take so that I'm able, by the end of the 12 weeks, to launch my new podcast? That is a 12-week goal for her. That's one way to reach people, through the podcast platform. A lot of people do tours. Maybe you want to do a virtual tour. You say, you know what? Over the course of the next 12 weeks, I need to get myself out there. I need to be doing lives with people. I need to be on people's virtual events. I need to be going to offline events. I need to be speaking. I need some interviews. I need maybe to get some ads, maybe be a sponsor for some people. What do you need to do to get yourself out there in the next 12 weeks via reach? What specifically are your goals? I want to do a virtual tour. I want to do a book signing, in person, offline, online, reach. The next one that you see here is ruts. Now, I'm going to just walk you through the R's and then pause just to check in with you and see if you guys, if you do, by the way, have any thoughts or questions for me, feel free to drop those into the chat, okay? A part of this process for me is not just thinking about the new, but also the old things too. Like, we are not in a space where we could just magically, at the first of the month or the first of the year, scratch who we are and what we've been through. Like, it would be great. But one of the reasons why resolutions are hard, one of the reasons why momentum and goal setting and achieving it's hard is because we've got all this back muck-a-muck, all the past experiences that it's just impossible to wipe away. For me, that brings me to a space where we think about ruts. Do you feel like when it comes to some areas of your business, and to be clear, I work with solopreneurs here, so you are your business to some degree. Do you feel like there are some parts where you're in a rut? Oh, I don't want to work with this person anymore, or this type of target person anymore, or I feel like I've hit a cap with my money. I've been making X amount for so long. I'm ready to make da 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 da. Do you feel like you are in a place where you're just kind of going through the motions, you're coasting, you're stuck, you've fallen off, and you are in a rut that you need to get out of? Identify the rut, and what I've created here is a space for you to do what I call rut reversal. Reverse it. Get out of it. Get back to who you want to be, where you want to be, in alignment with the assignment versus feeling stuck and or spinning your wheels. Anybody feel like they're in a rut right now? Just curious. It could be anything. And you're like, man, I need to ... So when it comes to you working on this prep step here, this is about identifying your bigger goals. This is about visualizing and projecting who you want to be, what you want to see by the end of the year. And then in order to get there, we start here with the next 12 weeks. We start here with you identifying your revenue goals, identifying your reach goals, identifying where you need to get out of a rut and reverse the process. The routines, that's what you do on a week-by-week basis to move you forward. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And you can't find the time. Making the time means intentionally setting aside time on a week-by-week basis, maybe every day or a few times a week, every other day for a couple of hours, to do the things that are going to help you move the needle when it comes to your revenue, your reach, and your ruts. What you do to move forward with these three core areas, those are the routines, the better habits, the challenges that you challenge yourself, your small micro projects to move you forward. This morning I did the Sunday Circle, the final Sunday Circle for the year. Last year I gave myself a challenge, and it was very intimidating because in my 20s, I was the late night owl. I was the girl who did not wake up earlier than 12 noon. So to be in a different season in my life on the other side of 40 where I'm waking up at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning is crazy. But I committed myself to last year, about October, November, starting the Sunday Circle, and every Sunday at 6 a.m. EST hosting the Sunday Circle for the ladies in the community. Today was the last one I did for the year, and I did it for the entirety of this year, plus for a few weeks ending last year. And that was a personal challenge. That was a commitment. It became a routine. And so what I want you to think about right now is you're looking to do better. You're looking to grow. You're looking to see a different version of you and your business too 12 months from now. This is not a coincidence that we're doing it today. We're literally doing this session today at the last day of this year because I need you to visualize the last day of next year. What did you want to see this year that you haven't seen yet? You create that version of you. You create that version of your business too But in order to get there, you have to break down the elephantastic task. I don't even know if that's a word. I've just been saying that for so many years. You know, they say, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? You have all of these elephantastic tasks. You need to break them down so that you can move forward. I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to pause and check the chat in just a second, but I do see some of you guys are just coming on in here. Hey, Dr. Fratonia is in the building. Did you all download your prep step workbook? Yes or no? Drop into the chat. Let me know. Did you download your prep step workbook? This is free from yours truly. It's 12 pages to help you prepare for the next 12 weeks to get you started. If you did not download this, you just want to make sure you grab this today. You go over to sistersense.com/masterplan. This is the first 12 pages of the 100-page Momentum Workbook. If you want the 100-pager, you can grab it. It's available. There's the 12-week program. I'm sorry, the 12-week challenge and the 12-week workbook. The whole thing is 100 pages. If you want to grab it, get the 12-week plan. If you just want the first 12 pages for free, come here, sistersense.com/masterplan, and download the first 12 pages. That's what we're working in today, okay? Because I want to help you get started with the prep of it all. That's the first thing. As you guys are coming on in here, I want you to think about what you want to accomplish by the end of next year. If you could share at least one big goal, you're like, LaShonda, 12 months from now, I want to have fill in the blank. What is that? Think about it. Write it down. Share it with me. Like I said, these workbooks that I've created, either you can print them out or you can upload it to a platform like GoodNotes, and literally on your laptop or your tablet, you can type in it online, like do virtual digital writing, or print it out and write in it if that's something that's more comfortable for you. Literally, I have my printed version of it, which I think I printed at Office Depot. So whether it be at home or at a local printer, make it happen. Now, do you have at least one big goal for the end of the new year? Can you identify a few smaller goals that are going to help you get to that bigger goal? Okay? I'm going to pause to check the chat, and then we're going to continue our prep conversation for today. Okay? Hey, Claytina's in the building. Welcome, welcome. I haven't thought about my revenue goals yet. However, I have determined my monthly investment budget. I opened a business account in which I put aside a specific amount monthly to invest into my business. Also, launching a podcast on a local radio station in February. Love it. They do the recording and the editing. Good stuff. I hold the creative rights, and they will share the content with me for me to upload to my podcast platforms. So basically, getting professional services at no cost to me. Good stuff. Thinking about where you can find budget-friendly solutions and how you're going to intentionally invest into your business. That's important. That's important. One of the things that I did with the Momentum Workbook, the full version, is create a space for you to not just focus on the R's, your revenue, your reach, your ruts, but to identify other goals that you have for yourself, right? I want to intentionally invest fill in the blank amount of dollars into my business. I want to record fill in the blank number of episodes in my podcast on a monthly basis, right? Getting clear about those goals. Now, I see that you said you haven't set your revenue goal yet, and it's something that I recommend you do specifically if you are ready to proactively sell. So what does that mean? If you're not selling, but you're preparing, you're planning, you're mapping things out, you are creating content, You're writing a book, you're finishing a course, but you're not proactively selling right now, you can put together a projection of what you would like to see on a monthly basis. But I'm more so focused on those who are proactively selling to be able to say, I intentionally want to see X amount of dollars every month or every week or every day in my business, and then work towards hitting that financial goal. Because a lot of entrepreneurs struggle in this capacity, especially I see this with, to be honest with you, 9-to-5 entrepreneurs, number one, and work at home, or rather stay at home entrepreneurs, number two, who have other revenue streams coming in, especially if you have streams from other projects or from a spouse or a partner. So what does that mean? Long story short, there is no safety net. There is no knock, can you help me out with a couple of dollars? My business is my 100% income revenue stream, right? And of course, my hubby works and he has his income as well. But I have my main business, and that has been sustaining us, my family, for many years. And so there's no safety net. When I was building my business and I was working a 9-to-5 back in my 20s, things hit different and they look different because I had a paycheck coming in every 2 weeks, right? So in those spaces, you may want to grow your business. You may want your business to bring in money, but you may not clearly, intentionally, strategically set revenue goals as much as you should if you don't necessarily think about how much money is coming in or where the money is coming in, because you have your base needs and expenses taken care of from something else. So if you are in a space where you're looking to transition from, like a 9-to-5 to a full-time entrepreneur, you do have to think about, outside of revenue streams that your spouse or your partner brings in, outside of revenue streams from other projects, outside of revenue streams from a 9-to-5 job, what do you want to see come through your revenue, your business, the products, the services, the packages, the offers, the things that you sell, okay? So that's important for you to think about. And thank you for sharing that, Claytine. Feel free, guys, as I'm going through our conversation today, to check in with me. Let me know what your big goals are. Let me know if you're thinking about or you're setting a revenue goal, a reach goal. Let me know if you're in a rut right now. Nothing changes if nothing changes. You've got to get intentional about how and where you want to move forward. Hey, Afi. Afi is in the building. Revenue goals are jelly right now. You make me laugh. Revenue goals are jelly. They're a little bit jelly. Going to solidify them for the year after this call, and I'm going to map out my routines. I love it. So I know Afi and we were talking about her products. One of the things that she's moving forward with is her printable products or print-on-demand products, even using a platform like Etsy to reach more people through her brand. So setting specific goals. How many products do you want to upload to Etsy in the next 12 weeks? What do you want your sales to look like? What products do you want to sell, right? How many new digital products or physical products do you want to produce? Getting clear about your revenue goals, and you specifically, when I say you, I'm talking specifically to Afi, outside of working on, I'm going to be helping her update her website, outside of working on the website, strategically using a platform like Etsy to reach people. What are specific goals that you've set for yourself there over the course of the next 12 weeks, right? These are SMART goals. I love the acronym SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. In order to intentionally move the needle and to actually get to be where you want to be 12 months from now, you got to be specific. You have to be able to measure it, track it, see it, and work towards it. So let's go back into the document that I've put together for you and continue to either ask questions or share what you're coming up with me inside of our chat section. Those of you listening on the replay side, you can always email me, post in our Facebook group, and or send me a voice message. So you'll see you have 12 of the full 100 pages of the Momentum 12-week workbook. And these initial prep step pages are so integral. You start off with your big goal. You think about some of the things that you want to accomplish in the next 12 months, and you give yourself a high-level view of the next 12 weeks. Highlight those things that you wish to accomplish, that you wish to attract. One of my favorite quotes is, the things that you are seeking you. To be able to manifest and attract the things that you want to see, the things that you want to do, you got to write it out. You got to map it out, which is what this space is for. Okay? So, as you can see, you're going to scroll. The next thing here is you've got your 1-year goal. You got your 12-week vision, and you've got a 12-week plan. So when it comes to the 1-year goal, right, I want you to be able to identify a revenue, a reach, or a rut goal, at least one for each. That's why you've got 3 spaces at the very top, so that you can say, as far as my revenue in 1 year, I want to see this. In my reach, in this specific way, I want to see this. And here's a rut I need to reverse and get the hell out of by the end of next year. I want to see this. You've got 3 spaces for that. So maybe you say, at the end of the year, I would love it if every single quarter I brought in an extra $10,000 into my business. That would mean that I am going to bring in an extra $40,000 by the end of the year. That's a revenue goal, right? Then you say, okay, reach. I would love to be able to gain 1,000 new subscribers, 1,000 new email subscribers, 1,000 new subscribers on YouTube. I would love to see 1,000 new followers on Instagram or TikTok. You're going to set a reach goal for yourself. I would love 10,000 downloads of my podcast. You're going to get specific. Then the rut. That's when you go, you know what, I've been in a rut. I have all of these projects. None of them are completed. I need to get out that rut. I was talking to a client, and she said, Real Talk with Shonda, I had a book that I wrote, and I have done nothing with it, and I've been sitting on it for years. Get out the rut. Publish that bad boy. One of my clients, Dr. Kira, I was so excited this year. She was like, the book is published. That was a book that she was working on with a publishing company, and it took forever to get released. I was so proud and so happy to see that she released it this year. Last year, I took a part of that book and helped her create an ebook to get started, at least to have something to move the needle. And that was a micro project connected to the bigger one. So I said, I don't know when your book is going to come out. It took over a year for the book to be published through that company that she was working with. I said, but until it comes out, can we start with a smaller goal? Can we take this section, make it into an ebook, and then along with that ebook, create a class, and then create a digital, smaller version that also will be connected to the bigger version once it gets released? That's one of the things that I love to do, being able to take those elephantastic tasks and make a smaller one. One of my latest clients, Leah, she said to me, LaShonda, I want to release my recipe book. And I've got so many things going on. It's a lot. I said, well, one of the things that we can do is we can identify what you've already created and put that into a smaller version of your recipe book until you can create a bigger version later on. Phase in your greatness. One of my favorite sayings. Phase in your greatness. Do it in phases. So similar to, like I said, last year I purchased, and I was asking you guys a little bit earlier, how many of you have read or have purchased The 12-Week Year by Brian Moran? I purchased it last year, and it's very popular when it comes to the conversation of goal setting and productivity. methodology for people who get stuck and they struggle and they don't feel as productive as they are. My momentum workbook that I'm sharing with you, a part of it, some of these are just fundamental tried and true things that I've been teaching for years, but a part of it is inspired by the 12-week year. You being able to, in 12 weeks, the next 12 weeks, do more, get more done in 12 weeks than some people do in a whole 12 months. Why? Because you get strategic, you get intentional, and you create routines. So with this particular page, you're going to identify one revenue, one reach, one rut, goal, the bigger ones for the year, and then you're going to identify your 12-week goals. That's where you start. You take the year, and then you compartmentalize it into a 12-week goal that you're going to start with. Okay? Now, the difference between me and the 12-week year is that, as I mentioned before, it's really just for goal setting in general. It doesn't necessarily have to be entrepreneurial or business. It could be personal. It could be professional. It could be career. It could be health. It could be wealth. It could be savings. Any goals that you have. My momentum is specifically for my entrepreneurs around your goals around your business, right? So you'll see here, identify your revenue goal, identify your reach goal, identify your rut reversal goal, one of each. And then break down anywhere between 1 to 5 things you're going to do on a routinely basis, on a week-by-week basis to hit that goal over the course of 12 weeks. This page right here is a game changer because the goal here is for you to be able to identify those goals that you're going to work on for the next 12 weeks, one for revenue, one for reach, one to help you get out of a rut, and then what are you going to do for each of those things? So, for example, I gave you the example of last year, one of my reach goals was 1,000 TikTok followers. I did the Black Girl Follow Train. I did 100 videos in 10 days. Then I started to intentionally every single month create more videos that I was uploading to not just Instagram, but also to TikTok. These are some of the things that I started to do. I created templates. I started to create templates that I could easily add content to make it faster for me to produce videos with always having to get in front of the camera. I started to create, what do they call those? I want to say reels, but that's not what I want to say. I started to create, I can't find the word. There are videos that we do. I want to say reels, but I don't know if that's the right word. There are videos that we do of just random things that we do throughout the day. Whether you are like working and you start recording yourself, or you're walking, or you're talking to a client and you do these short form recordings. If you guys know what the hell I'm trying to say, you can put it in there. But it's not sizzle reel. There's another word for it. It's real time stuff. Like, it's you doing things real time, and you record just everyday activities that you do so that you have basically B-roll. There we go, B-roll. B-roll, yes. You create B-roll, which is basically just little clips of things that you're doing throughout the day. You're making a cup of coffee, you're exercising, and then you can add that to your content. So the reach goal is 1,000 TikTok followers. Create B-rolls every week. Create templates to make it faster, easier to upload videos. Do 10 videos a day for 10 days. Those were some of the micro routines that I did to reach that goal, okay? And that is what this particular page is for. So let's keep on keeping on. In addition to, I'm going to show you the bigger workbook in a second, but this is the 12-pager that you all have. In addition to the prep step here, I've given you a bonus page, and that bonus page is the calendars section, where you've got a calendar page so that you can map out some specific things that you want to do within the next 30 days to help you get started with your 12-week vision. Okay? So being able to say, okay, on the 1st, I want to do this. On the 3rd, you set these deadlines for yourself that you work towards. That is what this particular calendar page is about. And then for me, to be honest with you, it's about accountability and community. And so what you're also going to see here is a resource page that explains if you want to move forward, you can participate in the Momentum Challenge, okay? The Momentum Challenge is literally starting so that every week for 12 weeks, I can send you personalized messages with instruction, motivation, and my own personal self-hacks, my own personal productivity hacks that you can utilize to move forward. Number 1, you get the challenge, you get the 100-page workbook, and if you're not a part of my Citizen Circle, you also get access to the Momentum Mastermind that we're going to be doing for the next few months as part of the Momentum Master Plan, okay? So those of you who would like the full workbook to participate in the challenge, those personal messages, those check-ins every week, as well as the Momentum Master Plan, the Mastermind, those things are a part of the challenge, number 1. Number 2, if you're not in our Facebook group, join the group and make sure that you let me know, you let us know what you're doing to work on your 12-week agenda going into the new year. And then number 3 for me is the Citizen Circle. That is our monthly mastermind and mentorship community so that every month you have the opportunity to check in with me on a week-by-week basis, right? I do pop-ups like this training today is a pop-up training. I do scheduled trainings as well. So every week we have either the Sunday Circle or we have a mastermind or we have some form of a weekend workshop. The next workshops coming up are the North Carolina workshop here in January, as well as the webinar version of the Fire Start Your Year workshop. That's coming up next weekend. If you don't have the calendar, you can actually download the calendar at, I'm going to go and pause and get the link for that so I can give that to you as well, because the calendar is available. Oh, DTC. Okay, if you don't have my New Year calendar, go to sistersense.com/DTC. I'm going to come here real quick. I should put it on this page for you guys as well. But if you go to sistersense.com/DTC, that's going to give you the opportunity to download the calendar, and you'll be able to see what's happening weekly, what's happening for the first month of the year, right? What you can anticipate happening every quarter. Every quarter we do Fire Start Your Year, Spring Into Action, Content to Cash Flow, and Print Your Profits. That happens every single year. And you get basically an overview of what to expect, especially those of you who are looking for kind of some sense of what to expect in the community. Okay, so if you're not a part of my Citizen Circle monthly group, you can join that, number 1. Or if at the very least you would like access to the Momentum series that I'm going to be working on for the next few weeks, you can join that in and of itself, okay? Any questions about that, by the way, feel free to check in and let me know. What I'm going to do is to share with you a few more things to consider when it comes to your next 12 weeks. And, of course, as you are coming up with ideas, you can drop those into the chat for me to see. Okay, so I'm going to check the chat in just a second. And we're going to talk about your weekly goals, your daily trackers, and then some of the C's that go with the R factor and the Momentum series. So let's just check the chat real quick. Yes, behind the scenes or B-roll. Thank you. Get ready with me. Some of the things that we've discussed. Is this included in the Sister Sense Circle? Great question. So the Sister Sense Circle includes the live virtual experiences that I do on a week-by-week, month-by-month basis. So the live pop-up like this is in the Sister Sense Circle. You get the live plus you get the replay. We're doing the 12-week mastermind. That's coming up. That's a part of the circle. We're doing the Fire Start Your Year weekend workshop, the webinar version. That's coming up. That's a part of the circle. So anything virtual that I do live, that you get the live training and the replay, that's a part of the circle. The workbook is a digital download that is separate. It's not a part of the circle. And if I do a pre-recorded non-live challenge, that this is not a live challenge. It's coming to you via email for 12 weeks. That's not a part of the circle. So the circle is basically the live virtual experiences that we do every week, along with pop-ups. You get the lives and the replays. But, of course, if you have any other questions about that, feel free to let me know. When I do live trainings, if, for example, I'm teaching you how to do something in the live, like today we're going to write an ebook, I'll probably give you an ebook template in that training. So unless there's some sort of a template or a download to go with the training, any downloads or non-live offers that I have are not included inside of the circle. Now today's training was prep, which is why you got the 12-pager as part of this training. So anytime I do a training, if there's some sort of template or download to go with the training, you will get it. But if there's anything extended that is not a part of the training, you can, go and invest into it if that is something that you are looking to take advantage of. So great questions, by the way. If you have any others, feel free to check in with me. Thank you for clarifying. You're welcome, and I'll do my best to point you in the right direction. So remember, the URL that you want to make note of is sistersense.com/masterplan. This is where you can download the free 12-page prep step guide. This is where you can learn more about the Momentum 100-page workbook and the 12-week challenge. And this is also where you're going to see the prep step replay once it's done, and I share that with you guys later today, okay? So anything connected to the Momentum Master Plan, you're going to see on this particular page. You can also click the send voicemail message and check in with me if you have questions or things that you want to share with me as part of this page as well, okay? So let me do two things. So the next thing that I want to do is actually share with you the 12-week. Once you're done with the prep step, you're going to go through the 12-week workbook if you decide to download it. And if you look at the right-hand side, this is a part of my Momentum series. I have several Momentum workbooks. This is the third one in the series. And I've created this color-coded set on the right side. It's numbered 1 through 12 because every week there are certain things that I want you to be able to do. The prep step is what we are going through today, okay? Let's take a look at, for example, week number 1. I love this quote. Your energy is expensive. Spend it wisely. Some of you guys, you're just throwing your energy all over the place, and you only got so much of it, right? So you want to be more intentional. You want to spend it wisely. You'll see here week 1, and it's noted. There are things that I want you to be able to do on a week-by-week basis. Identify your revenue goal and then whatever routines, activities, strategies, and tactics you're going to do to reach that revenue goal. Then you have your reach goal. That's specifically about how you're going to reach people. How are you going to build your audience? How are you going to expand your brand? By the way, those of you in the Citizen Circle, we are going to, for 12 weeks, every Thursday, we're going to do the Reach Project, so that you're working on, for the first 12 weeks of this year, working on your audience, your reach, your visibility and your exposure, right? So we're going to be doing that every single week for the next 12 weeks on Thursdays. But again, that is one of the things that you'll find in the calendar. What you'll see here is there's space for you to identify a specific revenue goal, reach goal, and RUT goal for every single week of your 12 weeks. But I understand that those are not the only goals that you might want to set for yourself. So there is space for you to set your own personal goals outside of the revenue, reach, RUT conversation in here as well. There's also the daily tracker, which is so important. So you have a space where you can say, okay, when it comes to working on my revenue, my goal was to make $100 a day, okay? So I am going to sell this ebook that's $25 with the goal of making 4 sales. 4 times 25 is 100. Did you do it on Monday? Check. Did you do it on Tuesday? Check, right? Again, you can print this out at home, local printer, or upload it to GoodNotes and track it digitally via the GoodNotes app or similar platforms that allow you to basically have digital workbooks and planners versus physical ones. So you can use this PDF in its physical form, printed, or digital form via GoodNotes. And you're going to see that you have these daily tracker pages as well as your weekly revenue, reach, RUT, and general goal pages for 12 weeks, okay? That is one thing that you're going to see. Number one, as you can see here, the tracker goes down as you go through all 12 weeks. And this is in the full 100-page Momentum Workbook, okay? The other thing that you're going to see is your C's. So if you look, there are icons on the right-hand side. There are 4 final icons for calendars, cards, coupons, and community, okay? Let's take a look at those. I gave you a bonus calendar page. And I got to scroll so I can get to the bottom here where I can share some of these pages with you. I want you to be able to, for the next 12 weeks, have spaces where you can have high-level overviews of your 30-day agenda, okay? So you've got these calendar pages, number 1, and then you have a highlights page, number 2, where you're going to highlight certain special dates in the next 12 weeks that are important to you. Could be an anniversary, a milestone, a launch. You want to have a space where you're intentionally tracking these things, your progress, your wins, your milestones. You want to have a space for that in your calendar section as well, number 1. Number 2, what I also wanted you to be able to do is to create your own affirmation, gratitude, or positivity cards. We're going to be working on cards, principal cards, and card decks as part of the Citizen Circle going into the new year. I'm very excited about that. And so creating your own principal cards is something that you can do as well. You have 1 page of positive affirmations. I attract positivity. I am capable of great things. Today, I choose compassion. I trust my ability to succeed. You can print this out and cut out these affirmation cards, number 1. Or number 2, you can print out this page and create your own cards. Whether you want to put something positive in here, your favorite quote, your favorite scripture or devotional, things that are going to keep you motivated so that you're not depleted, you're not discouraged, you're not distracted. As much support as you can get to succeed, I want you to have that, right? So I do want to be able to give that to you in a DIY format within the workbook, in addition to our mastermind check-ins every month and your personalized messages that I'm going to be sending to you on a week-by-week basis, okay? Now, this right here for me is this is like one of the first times I am sharing bingo cards, and I'm super excited about this. So I've created a space where you have business bingo boards. The first one I made for you, okay? This board, you have to be able to, in either horizontal, vertical, or diagonal, hit 5 momentum activities. This is you being intentional. This is you saying, oh my gosh, LaShonda, I posted at least 3 times this week. I made $300 to $500 this week. I went live this week. I uploaded a podcast this week. I followed up with someone. I introduced myself to someone. You intentionally working on your revenue and your reach goals. Here is a fun bingo board for you to do that. Because guess what? You got to make it fun. Now, you also have a customizable board where you can put in whatever you want here. And if you hit those goals in either horizontal, vertical, or diagonal, then you have completed successfully your bingo board. Now, here's the deal. I am about delayed gratifications, and if you're going to work on, I need to do a quick pause here. We lost this. If you want to intentionally work on activities that you craft yourself, then you can have your customizable bingo board, right? And like I said, I am someone who is a big believer in delayed gratification, number one, and rewarding where rewarding is due, right? So what you're also going to see in here is I've created coupons for you to gift to you, right? So if you know me at all, you know one of my personal obsessions is the DT, the $1.25 store. Don't ask me why. I love the hunt. I love the chase. I love to find unusual things at the dollar store. It's something that I enjoy. I also love long trips. I get the best ideas in my business and in life when I'm driving an hour or an hour and a half. North Carolina is big. I'm a highway driver, so I'll say, okay, after you've done X amount of things, LaShonda, you can do a fun mommy day, and you're going to drive to Raleigh and go to all your favorite stores and make it a day. You know, like that's a thing. Or, maybe it's your favorite store, or maybe it's your favorite treat. My family, we like Panera Bread. My son, he's obsessed with the cheese and broccoli soup like me and the tuna sandwich, right? Maybe you say, okay, I'm going to gift myself my favorite meal today, right? Things that you feel like you are rewarding yourself for a job well done. Let me ask you, those of you who are here, do you have any things that you reward yourself with when you feel like you did something and you accomplished something? I'm just curious. The thing of it is, if you feel like posting on social media, selling, creating that product, finishing that course, if you feel like these things are challenges, maybe you're not going to do them. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to stop. You have to make it fun. So the boards, the cards, and the coupons, this is my way of gamifying. I don't know if you know the concept of gamification, but you make a game out of certain things, and they become easier and more appealing for you to continue and or finish. Even when you're like, oh, I don't want to do this, you've got some sort of motivational factor to get you through to the end, right? And so I've wanted to incorporate some of these gamification pieces as part of the Momentum experience that I've put together for you. And I've got some more gamified pieces that I'm going to be dropping in the challenge. I won't talk about those now because I do like surprises, but there are going to be some other gamification pieces coming up as part of this experience as well. These are just a few examples of that. And as I mentioned before, I want you to be able to lean on the community, whether it be checking in with me in our Facebook group, whether it be participating in the Momentum 12-week challenge, and or joining the Sister Sense Circle if you're not in the community, okay? The circle is you and me and the community every single week. Every week I'm hosting webinars and challenges and trainings, those things that I do live. When I go, oh, I want to do a pop-up workshop today, or, oh, these are the mastermind sessions or webinar workshops on the calendar, those live virtual experiences, the lives and the replays, you get inside of the Sister Sense Circle. You also get on-demand access to my mastermind, the best of my mastermind, the Template Hub archive, as well as Back to Business. When I have different speakers, you can watch those and listen to those on demand as well. So there's a lot that you get inside of the Sister Sense Circle. I always like to say the success of your business depends upon the company that you keep. And hopefully these resources are helpful to those of you who are looking for additional support, including a community space too, to support and encourage you as you work on your overall vision, okay? So I'm going to check the chat just to see what you guys are saying to me. And as we do that, let me jump back into our slides as well. Chocolate chip cookies. I love that. I love that. Something that you absolutely love as a reward. I missed a big chunk as I had to step away from the computer. Will this be posted? Yes. So I am going to be uploading the replays, and if you go to sistersense.com/masterplan, within a few hours later today, you'll be able to see the replay, okay? Outside of the replays, if you do want to receive personalized messages from me for the next 12 weeks to support and guide you through your 12 weeks of momentum, your 12-week plan, working on your goals, and to have access to our Momentum Mastermind, those things that you get inside of the full master plan. As far as my goal, I didn't have anything written down, but I have thought about it, and I will be offering my services as a monthly subscription. I believe that's a good introduction to my business, and that I can nicely tailor over time and get a feel of the industry. Okay, good. So being able to think about those offers that you want to put out, whether it be, in your case, a subscription offer, a one-time payment, a service, a package, these are all things that are going to help you with your revenue, your reach, your ruts, and your routines, right? I have the cost in mind, and we'll be documenting them today. Good stuff. So hopefully today's prep step conversation was a good step in the right direction. For those of you who want to work on your visualization, getting clear about your big end-of-year goals, breaking those goals into quarters, and identifying the things that you want to start off with in the next 12 weeks. You do now have your Momentum Prep Step Guide free from yours truly. If you do want to invest in the Momentum Challenge and the full 12-week planner, the workbook, you have that opportunity to do so as well. Again, you can find that at sistersense.com/masterplan, number one. And number two, it's the gift-giving season. So one of the things that I've decided to do is to create the gift, which is an investment of working with yours truly on quite a few areas in your business. So the gift includes a couple of things. Number one, the gift includes momentum. So everything included in the Momentum Master Plan you get. Number two, the gift also includes access to our 12-week Reach program. If you're not in the circle, then that's great because you still get access to the 12-week challenge and the 12-week Reach project as part of the gift. It also includes one-on-one calls with me. So outside of what we're doing as a community, as a group, you get to talk to me privately. That's a part of the gift, as well as 12 months access to my 4 template collections. I have the Template Hub, the Brand Kit, Brand New Pages, and Plug and Publish. Those are the 4 sets of templates that I have released in the last several months, and you're going to get access to what is currently available, plus everything that I produce for the next 12 months, and that is inside the gift. If that is something that you want to unlock, you can learn more about it at citizensense.com/thegift. Those of you who would like to join me for our upcoming Fire Start Your Year workshop here in North Carolina, I welcome you to join us. We're going to have so much fun. We always create a digital/print product. And for Fire Start Your Year, similar to what we've done here, we work on strategically mapping out your master plan for the new year and the first quarter. Outside of that, as I mentioned before, you can also explore the Citizen Circle, which is our monthly mentorship, mastermind, and accountability community, giving you access to the weekly and monthly live virtual pop-ups, challenges, workshops, all the things, masterminds that I do live, plus the replays through 2 on a month-by-month basis. So I wanted to make sure if you, again, needed extra help, you knew what was available and where to go, as well as downloading our latest Citizens Calendar at citizens.com/DTC, which stands for Download the Calendar from yours truly. Anything else, email me and or schedule a one-on-one call with me. At the very least, you can check in via the community, or when you're on citizens.com, you can click the gray tab on the right of the website to send me a voice message. I truly, truly thank y'all for joining me live. Mwah, 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 special. Thank you for those of you listening on the replays side. Yes, Happy New Year, y'all. Enjoy the final hours of this year as we transition into the new year. Get clear about what you want to do. And remember, this is about you. This is about you knowing that your fresh start starts now. You have the ability to manifest and see anything that you want. New year, new you, new money too. We're going to rock it out. We're going to rev up our efforts with strategy and intention, right? So again, thank you so much. Happy New Year's. Safe holidays and travels to all of you, wherever you are, whoever you are, wherever you're going. Check in with me if you see something here that you have questions about and or would like to join us in person in North Carolina for one of my upcoming events. That's all for this time. Till next time, take care. Mwah! Bye.